Hi, this is Giulio Paracci with Micros of South Florida. In this video, we're going to go over how to add employees. Where this is done at the back of the house. So from your server desktop, you'll click on POS Configurator, log in with your username and password. From here, click on the Employees tab. Click on the Employees button. This is going to give you a list of all of your configured employees. We're going to go through and add two types of employees. One will be a manager, the other one will be a cashier. From here, the way that this list is organized, it's numeric. So what we do is we put the managers up in the top, the cashiers starting are in the 400s, and kitchen staff or anyone that just needs the system to clock in and out will be in the 500s. So from here we're already in the single digits here. Click on the blue plus. It's going to add a new record in the next available line. We're going to start here. We're going to go through these tabs. Starting on the general tab, we're going to put in the first name, last name. So that's all that is necessary on the first tab. There's a lot of information that you can keep here. We're just going to go through and put in the bare minimum to get these employees into the system so they can use the system. The next tab over will be personal. From here, you're just going to have to put in a date of birth. It doesn't have to be accurate, but something has to be in here. Contact information, you can put whatever you want in here, but nothing is required. Same thing with I-9 information and exemptions. But security, you do have to put some information in here for this to work correctly. Password ID, this is a number from 1 digit up to 10 digits. This is a number that's used out of the front of the house. PC application ID, again, this is a number from 1 digit up to 10 digits. This is used in the back of the house here on the server when you're going into manager procedures. In manager procedures, that's where we're going to go to either edit an employee's time or edit your beer and wine selections. And this could be the same number. One thing to keep in mind here on this password ID, if you are going to assign yourself a card, the card number will overwrite the password ID number. PC application ID, this will be a somewhat permanent number. If you give yourself a card, this number here will stay there. Payroll ID is not necessary. User ID, this is used for managers to access the back of the house applications. Typically what we'll do is put in first initial and last name. User password. Password has to be at least 7 characters long, has to contain letters and numbers, and you can't use your last 4 passwords. Since I'm setting this up for another employee, what I'm going to do is just use a default password that you can make up. I like to use password and the number 1. Alright, so put in the password here, confirm it right below. Employee class, this determines what privileges this employee has. Since we're putting in a manager, we're going to choose manager. Same thing for back office employee class. What we're going to do here is we're going to check this box that says user must change password at first login. We're also going to uncheck accounts disabled, and we're going to uncheck override authentication mode. So what this means is when this manager logs in for the first time, they'll be required to change their password. Next tab we're going to go to is employee status. You are required to enter a hire date. This can be any date as long as it's in the past. Actually, this could be any date. If it's in the future, this employee will be inactive until this date comes around. Then we're going to go up to this top row of tabs here to POS. You do have to choose a revenue center. We're just going to choose restaurant. And since this is a manager and they are going to have access to the cash drawer, we're going to use cash drawer 1. You're always going to use cash drawer 1. This is how many drawers are attached to each workstation. And since each workstation only has 1 drawer, it's always going to be cash drawer 1. This is only for managers and cashiers. For kitchen staff, you just want to leave this on none. Next tab over is notes. This is just an open text field. You can put in whatever you want here. Hourly job, since this is a salaried manager, we're not going to put anything here. Salary job, we're not using this tab. Payroll information, not required, we're not using this. And driver info, we're not using this either. Once all that's complete, just hit this green check at the top to save, and that employee is in the system and saved. Next thing we're going to do is add a cashier. It's almost the exact same, but there's not as much information that we have to put in here. So what I'm going to do is click on the cashier's line here before I hit this blue plus. What that'll do is it'll add a new record below where I am right now, in this case 401. Again, we're going to start on the General tab and work our way through the tabs. First name, last name, that's all that's required here. Next tab over, personal, date of birth, contact information not required, I-9, exemptions, security. We're going to go straight here. We're going to put in what we like to use as the last 4 digits of their Social Security, and this is going to be used for this cashier to clock in and also to sign in to Ring in Sales. Since this is just a cashier, we're going to leave PC application blank, user ID blank, passwords blank. Only thing we're going to do here is put in a password ID and choose employee class of cashier. We're going to leave back office class blank also. So that's it for a cashier. Next tab over, employee status, you do have to put in their hire date. Same goes for the cashier. If it's in the future, this will be inactive until that date comes around. POS, again, restaurant. Cash drawer status, cash drawer 1. Then we're going to skip right to hourly job. Since this is the cashier and they are hourly, we're going to add a job here. To start, we're going to click on this blue plus and then click under name, choose what their position is, cashier. Each of these jobs will have a default pay rate. If they make something other than the default, you can click under override and put in their actual pay rate here. The rate effective date will default to the first day of the next period. If you want to change that, you can make that today if you'd like. You can't make that a date in the past. This rate is not retroactive. Once you're done here, click on this green check to save. We're just going to ignore the rest of these tabs, and we're done with this employee. If you are, one thing about employees, you cannot delete an employee once they've used the system. Once they've clocked in or once they've rung sales, you're not going to be able to delete them from the system for about a year, since their labor and sales information is part of your historical totals. So what you can do over on the employee status tab, so let's say this person was terminated yesterday. What you can do is, where it says terminated here, choose the date that they were terminated. So we're just going to click on that, and we're going to click on the green check to save. And what you can see is that person is no longer active, and they have disappeared from this list. By default, on this list, you're only going to see active employees. Up top here in these icons, you can use these to view other employees. View all employees will show you employees that are also inactive or terminated. These will show you just inactive employees. Inactive would be somebody who has not been terminated, but maybe they're just gone for a while, they might come back. Or you can click on this to view terminated employees. And that's it. Thanks.